What's up, YouTube? We're back. It's Rescue Rabbit 101, and today we're having another segment of Tech Tuesday. And I'm sorry that this is getting uploaded on a Wednesday. I had a big test today, and I decided I'd rather get some sleep. So our tech card for today is Stygian Dirge. Now, for all of those of you who don't know what this card is, it's a continuous trap card that reads, reduce the levels of all monsters your opponent controls by 1. And just so we all know where we can get it, it was released in Stardust Overdrive as a short print common, and in Duelist League 16 as a rare. So it hasn't been printed extremely much. However, this card has some great utility, and it has for a long time, even though it hasn't been as heavily played. Ever since the creation of the Xyz, levels have become a lot more important, and decks that specialize in only one level of Xyz tend to be able to get easily defeated by a card like this. Now in this format, since we also have fusions and stuff like that, fusions and rituals, the card's not as great. But actually the card's also pretty good against synchros. So, the two decks that it's really good against this format are Satellars and Burning Abyss. Both of these probably have fairly self-explanatory reasons, but I'll just dive into depth with them just to make sure you know. Satellars are a rank 4 spam deck. Now, while the deck can negate a lot of stuff and do a lot of things, if they are unable to go into Xyz, the biggest monster they have is 1800, or 19 if they play Redoubt. That's not that hard to get rid of. Meaning you can just beat them down, because it doesn't matter how many times they search with the Neb, they can't do anything. Same idea with Burning Abyss. If they're all level 2s, they can't make Virgil, and they can't make Dante. They can still make Malakota, but only if they use either 3 Burning Abyss on the field, or 2 of the Burning Abyss in their hand, and not all of them even play Malakota. Plus, Malakota's only one boss monster, and frankly, I think a lot of people would rather deal with Malakota than Dante and Virgil. Now, one of the great things about Stygian Dirge is it only affects your opponent, meaning it can be played in any deck, even if the deck would get hurt by Stygian Dirge. Some examples of other decks besides the one I listed that it hurt are things like Gadgets, and Evil Swarms, and Yang Zing, where, again, their level matters. And especially, and I've noticed this because I did use Stygian Dirge against a Yang Zing player, if you flip it, it gets a lot harder for them to bring out a Yazi, because most of their things are only like level 2s. So now, if they're bringing it out with, say, a Jaitao, and I'm going to butcher these pronunciations probably, but Jaitao, Bixi, and one of their 3s, maybe a Bayan, now, instead of that, they're making a level 4, because they have a 1-1 and a 2, and it gets a lot harder to accelerate themselves to the upper levels, but if they can make a synchro, keep in mind it's going to be a lot stronger. Now, Stygian Dirge has had in the past, when it was sided against decks like Evil Swarm players, and other decks like this where they were susceptible to Stygian Dirge, actually started to play one copy of a card one rank below what they were. So let's take Evil Swarms, and the reason I'm using this example is because if you've been watching my channel, you know I used to play Evil Swarms. They would actually play a Zen Mains in there, in the extra deck, because you can make the Zen Mains. However, Satellars, with all of their Trevers, Diamonds, and Deltaroses, don't actually have the room for such a card. And Burning Abyss, playing Virgil, Dante, and a whole variety of rank 3s, also don't actually have the room for such a card. Not to mention, Gachi Gachi Genetsu or the Sky Centurion will actually out the card, and you can still deal with them. So, that's just my thoughts on Stygian Dirge. I'm sorry this episode's been kind of short, but I'm a little bit pressed through time, and this has been Rescue Rabbit 101. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Rescue Rabbit 101, signing out.